Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome to Doctors on TV. I'm your host, Dr. Sarah Barba-Cabodil. It's a day for new learnings. Alam niyo ba mga kasambahay na bukod sa ating mga kababaihan ay pwede rin magkaroon ng breast cancer ang mga kalalakihan? At para po sa paunang detalye, panoorin natin ito.
Ayon sa datos ng Centers for Disease Control and Prevention o CDC, isa sa bawat 100 kaso ng breast cancer sa United States ay naitala sa mga kalalakihan. At ayon naman sa World Health Organization, nasa 0.5 to 1% ng mga kaso ng breast cancer ay mga lalaki, partikular sa mga may edad na mga kalalakihan.
Since both men and women have breasts, men too are susceptible on having breast cancer. Ang tanong lamang, paano nga nagkakaroon ng breast cancer ang isang lalaki? But before we go deeper, we would like to invite you to follow and subscribe to our social media accounts. Please like and follow our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/doctorsontv. And like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You just have to type www.youtube.com/UNTV News and Rescue. And you can actually send us questions and comments po sa mga pages na yan. Ako kaya after liking and subscribing, i-share nyo na din po sa inyong family and mga friends. Naku, marami pa po tayong pag-uusapan maya-maya po. Kaya, naku, huwag nyo po ililipat ang channel. Doctors on TV will be right back. Nagbabalik ang Doctors on TV. Bago po tayo dumako sa ating tatalakayin ngayong umaga, ating balikan ang ating nakaraang episode dito sa Asian Breast Center. Let's watch this.
Kasabihan ng mga matatanda, ay, huwag kang magpamammogram kasi masakit. But people really don't understand what they're doing. If ito talaga masakit, it's either mali yung machine na ginagamit o hindi ta properly trained yung radiation technician ninyo. Because if you do it right, it really should be painless, or minimal discomfort. Kaya ang importante dito, that you go to a place where they have modern equipment. Yung digital po ngayon, hindi na kamukha ng lumang analog. Yung analog, medyo pinipiga talaga para luminaw yung picture ninyo. Yung new 3D and 2D mammograms, not only is it clear, but more importantly, they have a pressure control. Yung mga bago ngayon, meron silang pressure monitor. Pag dumating ng pain level, it stops kahit na gusto mong i-press, hindi na pwede.
So automatic siya, apart from its high sensitivity.
And then there's another thing that I want to warn you, and please, I want to tell this, thank you for this opportunity to say this. In the Philippines, not too many people still talk about the density of the breast, importante yung density. So United States, a few years ago, they made a law based on the different states. And ngayon, it was so important, they made it a federal law na part of your examination reading, you should interpret the density of the breast, A, B, C, and D density, Ang pag D density, not only is it difficult to read them, kasi the early signs of early breast cancer is really microcalcifications, mga dots lang. Kung dense ang breast mo, maputi, tapos hindi mo makikita yung puti, white on white is very difficult to determine. Ang other problem doon, pag dense ang breast mo, you have higher incidence of breast cancer. So that in itself is a factor. Now there is a machine called the one that we use is MBI, molecular breast imaging. Dito MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. Ang problema sa MRI na available dito, ginagamit nila gadolinium. Gadolinium, once it's injected, you never excrete it. It's stored in your brain, and they don't know what the long-term effects are. And it could be nephrotoxic, pwedeng sirain yung kidney mo. Kaya you also order as a creatinine and BUN. Or just creatinine. Ang problema ngayon, hindi na excrete, medyo mas mahal at hindi alam natin ang long-term effect ng MRI. Versus the MBI, molecular breast imaging, which uses sestamine. Sestamine is the contrast that they use for stress tests for elderly people. So ang ganda doon, once it's injected, you go to the bathroom, you pee, it's gone forever. So it has no long-term effect. Does not affect your kidneys. You don't have to get a B1 and creatinine for your procedural.
Yeah, kasi that's the sad part. Of course, mas nakuha mo nga yung, na-diagnose mo nga yung sa breast, pero you have like a problem naman ng kidney problem. Isa po sa mga paraan upang ma-detect ang breast cancer ay ang pag-undergo ng mammogram. Pero ilan po sa mga kababaihan ay nagdadalawang isip na magpa-mammogram dahil sa kaakibat po na pain o discomfort during the procedure. Pero set aside your worries dahil may tinatawag na po ngayong painless mammogram. At para po mas maliwanagan tayo kung ano nga po ba ang advantages ng painless mammogram, makakasama po natin today ang isa sa mga founders ng Asian Breast Center. Let us welcome Dr. Norman San Agustin, a general surgeon and also a breast surgeon from Asian Breast Center. Good morning, Doc Norman, and welcome to Doctors on TV.
Good morning. Thank you for having me again.
Doc, baka gusto yung batiin mo ng ating mga viewers.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, ng mga kasangbahay, at po si Dr. San Agustin. I'm so happy for you to have asked me to come back, and mas buti naman at nandito na naman ako.
Yeah, and thank you, and of course, looking forward to a very informative episode, and just like what we had the past Sundays.
Thank you.
And ito, Doc Norman, sa introduction natin, I mentioned about the mammogram. Generally speaking, ano po ba ang mammogram?
There are different ways to take images of the breast. So one of them is using rentgen, yung X-ray, no? And that's popularly known as a mammogram. The other way to do it is with an ultrasound, which is using sound waves. There's a new technology na, pinakabagong teknolohiya na lumabas na maswerte tayo sa awa ng Diyos at tayong one of the few institutions that have actually access to this technology. Noon pa, nare-realize ng Presidente at mga ibang lawmakers natin na mayroong pandemic talagang na kailangan talagang masupo, tama yun? At to control it. And the only way that they can do that is early diagnosis and treatment, ano? Pero ang problema dito, sino magbabayad dito, no? Kung magmamandate ka to do it. So, nilabas nila yung pera galing sa Universal Healthcare, which is the PhilHealth. Ang problema, masyadong mahal ang halaga ng mammogram, hindi kayang bayaran ng PhilHealth, and boom, ang Diyos, sumagot siya na, sabi niya, bibigay ko sa inyo itong bagong teknolohiya, which is the Thermalytix, using heat power in order to be able to detect early cancer. So lumabas po ito, kahit tayo nakakuha ng kontrata dito sa technology nito, at ngayon mag-offer natin po, hindi na natin kailangan itaas ang pera natin, ibababa lang ang cost ng technology, yung procedure. And that's why this is so important for us, because we can screen millions of people more at the same cost. Kung dito lang pera natin, pero abot dito, ngayon binaba natin ito para mabot sa money that we have here now. And it's called Thermalytix. It's using heat technology. Para bang yung nagkaroon ng COVID, yung kinukunan ng yung temperatura mo with a gun, sa point sa forehead mo, ito yung gun nasa breast mo. At ang principle po nito, na kung ang breast cancer mabilis mag-reproduce, yung rate which they produces heat, and the heat is detected by the thermal gun. And ang problema dito, sino mag-interpret dito? Because there's so many shades of red, green, blue, and white, lahat ng colors, iba-ibang shades. Walang may matang kaya mag-interpret dito. So ngayon, dumating yung pinakamahusay na radiologist nasa langit, pangalan niya, is artificial intelligence, So because of artificial intelligence, now we can interpret these various shades to be able to say accurately what generates the most amount of heat in that particular area, sa breast. And now, yung resulta ngayon, it shows that the Thermalytix, the results are almost as accurate, if not just as accurate or even more accurate than a regular mammogram. Pero ayaw po namin sabihin ito, pero dahil ang talagang benefit po ng Thermalytix is really to make it affordable for every woman in the Philippines na for a small amount of money, wala na silang excuse na hindi sila nagpatingin kasi walang pera.
Okay, and minus the discomfort.
Walang discomfort, no touch, no feel, na privacy nandoon, lahat ng benefits nandyan.
I see. And how young should one, subject herself to this procedure?
On what age, sinasabi nga ng aming expert dito sa clinic namin, si Leo Santos, sabi niya is agnostic, age agnostic. Ano? Hindi kinakalala, hindi discriminate ang age ng mga kliyente. So if you have a young patient who has some abnormality in the breast, you can use this as a screening. Or from the age of 35 to 40 years old, you probably can use that as a screening because at that particular age, medyo taglit sabi na ng American standards, 35 kung medyo symptomatic ka, may family history ka, but after the age of 40, every year na thereafter, no? But during the hiatus, during that gap, pwede kang gumamit ng Thermalytix.
I see. But with the advancement of technology, no, Doc, I mean, paano ma-identify ng pasyente? I mean, if she would subject herself like under a simple mammogram or go for the more advanced Thermalytix?
Standard is still mammogram, no? Mammogram is still the standard. But the results, as far as today is concerned, it shows that the Thermalytix is almost as good as, if not equal. Well, you're probably equal. No? We don't want to say it's better than the mammogram, but it's very, very good. It's as accurate.
So basically, since hindi naman siya ganun kamahalan, so pwede rin naman na, you try both, okay? So
you can do that, or if you can afford it, to go with the standard. But the time will tell even further kung tama yung statement namin na this is as good as.
Okay, and going back kanina na pag-usapan natin sa introduction, Doc Norma, no? Maisingit ko lang po dahil, di ba kanina sabi natin, posible rin palang magkaroon ng breast cancer ang mga kalalakihan. Though ito naman po ay bihira, pero pwede rin po ba ang mammogram sa mga kalalakihan?
Ang cancer, any kind of cancer, always develops with normal cells. Ano? Ang breast, what the woman has, the men have, ano? Ang difference lang is the extent of growth and maturity ng mga cells. But they have ductal cells, and they have lobular cells, and they could develop cancer just the same as women, except mas underdeveloped yung mga cells yun. And it's only 1% of all breast cancer in the male, no? Pero kung meron silang bukol, don't let it go. Sabi, wala lalaki naman ako. Hindi pwede yun, ano?
Okay, and how about the percentage of detection? Okay, for the males having breast cancer. Okay, and then going back to mammograms. So I mean the percentage of detecting cancer even at the early stage through this procedure.
Pareho din.
Same. Okay. How about this one, Doc? Is this a fact or a myth? Mammograms expose you to dangerous radiation. So how true is it?
Well, it's just like getting chest x-rays. The amount of radiation is very, very minimal. Unless you take unnecessary mammograms every month or every weekend. But the usual recommendation of one mammogram a year is really very minimal, that nobody's ever really questioned the safety of the.
But of course, diba? Parang having not detected breast cancer, should one have it? Diba? Parang hindi mas nakakatakot yun rather than the exposure to radiation. Of course, diba? And ito, Doc, is this a fact or a myth? Breast self-exams are just as effective as mammograms.
No, absolutely not. My hands are good, but they're not that good.
Yeah, okay. And usually, how early can this be detected ba, Doc? Yung mga at an early stage, I mean, kitang-kita kagad, ganun kasobra yung sensitivity niya.
Okay, it's again going back to the same question. Is a hand examination the same as a mammogram? The answer is very clear, because the early detection means a precancerous lesion becoming cancerous, which means na you're looking for ductal carcinoma in situ, and the only way that you can detect those is with a mammogram, because they're presenting as microcalcifications, little tiny dots in the background. And how can you feel tiny dots? I mean, even if you have a poor old-style mammogram, you may not even detect that. You can't even see it in the ultrasound. And how can any other procedure such as that?
Breast examination. Okay.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Okay, the next one, Doc. So is this a fact or a myth? Mammograms are too expensive to be done regularly. Fact or a myth?
The truth is, I think the mammograms here in the Philippines range anywhere from 2,000 to 8,000. That's a lot of money for the average Filipino, no? But then, how much is the cost of safety? How much is the cost of life? How much is the cost of other things? And then when you compare it to an expensive dinner, for example, or even a medium-sized priced dinner, all you have to do is give that up, and then the risks are very small, and the cost. But now there's no longer an excuse because the cost of Thermalytix is a fraction of the cost of a mammogram. So wala na kayong dahilan na nakakansel ako kasi wala akong pera, no? And don't forget, we're depending on the president and the lawmakers to be able to put that amount of money, which is relatively small, instead of just putting it to all diseases in the Philippines, kasi konti lang pera, no? Just put the percentage that, put it in breast cancer screening, and the other half of it, put it in breast treatment,
Okay, so Doc, since na-weigh na natin yung pros and cons of having mammogram done, okay, or kaya nga if meron gusto ng cheaper counterpart but hindi na-sacrifice yung accuracy with the Thermalytix. Doc, ano yung magandang interval, of I mean, you mentioned about the risk factors, no? However, ganong ka-safe ito gawin regularly? How short is the interval?
For mammogram?
Yeah.
It's not really the safety. The idea here is, are you going to pick up anything? Is a tumor that small that it cannot be seen by the mammogram? Is 1 year enough gap for it to make a big change that you could actually pick it up then, or 3 months, or 6 months, or 2 months? What they've observed over the past many years is that 1 year gap would be safe enough. If you have a good machine using the same one, you wait a year, and then even if they pick it up a few months later, odds are it's still in the same stage and probably just as curable as it was a few months earlier.
I see. So my previous question boils down to the next one. So I had a normal mammogram last year, so I don't need another one this year. So, but the fact says?
Well, you should have it every year. Now, are you over 35?
Yeah, I'm 36. I'm just kidding. Okay, so the cutoff age would be 35, Doc.
Well, 35.
So I'm changing the topic.
35 to 40, 40 years old.
Okay.
Now, if you have family, first degree particularly, then the rule is 10 years younger. So if they had cancer at the age of 40, you should have your screening starting at 30 years old.
I see. Okay, so this one.
But a young 36 like you don't have to worry about it.
Of course, you don't believe that I'm 36. I'm sure, Doc.
Okay, 37.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Okay, this one. My doctor didn't tell me that I needed a mammogram, so I cannot schedule an exam. So, but the fact says, so
you cannot schedule it. Of course, there are so many places you can.
So, kailangan talaga ng request for this, or
this is the point we're making, and we want to. I'm glad you asked this question. Is people call us up and say, "I need a mammogram." Okay, how old are you? Okay, they give their age and say, "Okay, can you bring your prescription?" In other words, we're not it's like a pharmacy. You can go in there and say, I need antibiotics, I need steroids, I need this kind of medication. You have, this is a pharmacy, this is not the sari-sari store. So when you go to the pharmacy, this prescription, particularly when they're sensitive to prescriptions, they have to be given by a qualified physician.
Yeah.
And then you go there asking, gusto ko ng mammogram. Maybe you don't need a mammogram. Maybe your breasts are very dense. Maybe you need something else. Maybe all you need is a Thermalytix, which is a fraction of the cost. So it all depends kung ano kailangan mo. But see a doctor first, because a good doctor specialized in breast will tell you what test you need. And sometimes, sabi mo, mas mahal kasi gagastos ka pa sa consultation. But kung mali ang ginawa mo, na-miss mo yun, and ano mangyayari, ang mahal ng treatment niyan. So do it the right way. Don't reinvent the wheel. Na sinabi na nila ang dapat sundin. At sumunod na lang tayo. Do not simplify your life. Go to a reliable center and don't prescribe your own tests. Go see if a qualified surgeon, and they'll advise you what you need to get done.
Yeah, and of course, here, just like here at Asian Breast Center, you also conduct consultations naman, Doc. And,
obviously. In fact, we encourage consultation before getting the test because we're not a laboratory just taking mammograms.
Naku, mga kasambahay, patikim pa lang po yan. Pero marami pa po tayong matututunan. Maya-maya po lamang ay pag-uusapan naman natin ang Thermalytix. Kaya naku, huwag kayong bibitiw. Stay tuned for a while and we'll continue after this short break. Welcome back to Dr. Zon TV. At naku, para pa rin po sa pagpapatuloy, kasama pa rin po natin si Dr. Norman San Agustin, a general surgeon and also a breast surgeon and one of the founders of Asian Breast Center. At ako, syempre mga kasangbahay, kailangan pong maipakita din namin sa inyo kung ano nga po bang itsura ng mammogram. Kaya naman, Dr. Norman will assist us for us to witness paano nga ba ginagamit ito. Okay, so Doc, naku, ito, baka gusto nyo kami i-orient dito sa machine na ito.
Ito yung actual machine itself is a 3D, 2D, it's a 2D machine. It's called the D means the digital machine. That means it has a high resolution and gives you a better picture, no? So this is a 3D equipment that we've been using for the past several years. It's D because it's a digital machine. That means no pressure, no pain, and clarity is unbelievable. Ito pong bagong digital mammogram na po ito, yung nagko-complain ng masakit yung ano nila, yung procedure, ayaw nilang check na ito. Hindi nila naiintindihan na yung bagong mammogram po ngayon na meron pressure regulated. Bababa po ito. Pag nandito yung breast mo, when it reaches a certain pressure, kahit napigaan mo, hindi maiipit yung breast. Kaya bago makasabi sila ng aray, tumigil na ito, hindi na pwede bumaba. Kanya, at saka aside from that, nasa technician po, yung technician ng ABC, they're specially trained technicians. Kaya importante po, hindi lang yung kotse yung nagmamaneho din, ano, ha? Yung technicians po namin, napakahusay nila. They know when to stop, when to go, no? So, yun lang po.
Okay, so dapat huwag matakot, makasangbahay, no? Nako, and at this time, siguro lipat naman po tayo sa Thermalytix.
Ayun.
So yun nga mga kasambahay, nakita natin kanina kung ano bang itsura ng mammogram at nai-explain din sa atin ni Dr. Norman San Agustin na hindi naman nakakatakot. So nakita din natin kanina no, kung ganong ka-high-tech din yung equipment. Okay? So at this time naman, sisilipin natin kung anong itsura ng Thermalytix. Okay? Come on, samahan niyo ako. Okay, so at this time around, we have here the technical specialist of Thermalytix dito sa Pilipinas kasi Asian Breast Center lang ang meron ito dito sa atin. Okay, so and Sir Leo, welcome to Dr. Zon TV. Nako, sana ito po ay maipakita niyo sa amin kung ano nga ba itsura ng Thermalytix and kung gaano nga ka-advance yung technology nito, no? And paano po magbe-benepisyo dito yung ating mga kasangbahay na susubukan ito po.
Yes, thank you Dr. Sara and hello mga kasangbahay. Explain ko lang po yung Thermalytix, no, yung bagong technology dito sa Asian Breast Center. Ito po ay gumagamit ng thermal imaging at artificial intelligence. So, bagong teknolohiya para ma-screen ang mga kababaihan ukol sa breast cancer.
Okay, so you mentioned about thermal breast imaging. So, when you say thermal, does it involve heat?
Yes, Dr. Sara, no, kailangan niya ng heat sa katawan ng tao or sa particularly do sa breast area ng kababaihan para makapagbigay siya ng recommendation kung ito ay mataas ang suspicion for breast cancer.
And you mentioned also about artificial intelligence. So does it involve AI here para magkaroon ng interpretation ng resulta? Tama po ba?
Yes, no. So ang artificial intelligence siya yung bumabasa ng mga nakukuhang thermal imaging, no. So ina-upload po natin yan sa internet, sa cloud, para basahin niya yung mga nakikita niyang pictures na nakuha ng thermal camera. 5 images yung babasahin niya at yun ang gagamitin niya para makapagbigay siya ng recommendation.
I see. And how sensitive is this?
Ang sensitivity at accuracy po nito ay katumbas or sinasabi na mas mataas kesa sa mammogram. Pero hindi po namin kiniklaim na papalitan pa nitong technology nito ang mammogram or ultrasound dahil ito po ay novel technology pa lamang.
I see. And katulad po nito, di ba like sa mammogram po, it's being recommended, I mean, depende actually case-to-case basis, pero on the average, it's being recommended yearly. How about the Thermalytix?
Ang kagandahan po nitong Thermalytix ay ito po ay isang age-agnostic technology. Meaning, sa mammogram po, nire-recommend kasi ito sa mga kababaihan na 40 years old and above yearly. No? Ito po, dahil siya ay technology na kayang gamitin even if younger or mga middle age or senior na mga kababaihan.
Okay, so with regards to age, okay, walang limitation dito?
Opo, hindi po niya dinidiscriminate ang mga sa age ang kababaihan. So maganda po siya dahil Karamihan po ay natatakot magpamammogram dahil may iniipit. Ngayon, ito po, wala po siyang pain dahil wala pong iniipit. Uupo lang po sa harapan ng thermal camera yung patient, and then she will wait for a few minutes for the camera to take the images.
I see. And since you mentioned kanina, di ba, na may involvement ka ng heat because from the term itself, thermal breast imaging, and of course, the brand here is Thermalytix na meron lang dito sa Pilipinas, no? So, is it affected by, like, say, for example, a patient who undergoes this procedure, this diagnostic procedure ay kunyari may lagnat, may sinat,
Okay.
is it affected by that? Or, I mean, what exactly is the principle?
Yeah, so actually, Dr. Sarah, no, pagka ang pasyente po ay may lagnat, hindi po sila pwedeng Thermalytix dahil po ay mataas na yung kanilang temperatura sa katawan. So they are asked to come back when they're feeling better, no? So bawal po siya sa mga taong may flu or lagnat dahil iba po yung temperature ng katawan. Lalo-lalo na kung sila po ay may menstruation, iba rin po yung temperature ng katawan nila. Ang Thermalytix po ay very sensitive kasi sa heat dahil yun po yung kanyang ginagamit para basahin at magbigay ng recommendation.
And I see, and ganong katagal po bago lumabas ang resulta dito, Sir Leo?
Ayan po ang advantage rin ng Thermalytix, no? Ang resulta niya, kaya niyang ilabas yung recommendation within 24 hours to 36 hours, no? So, pero po, ito po ay recommendation ng AI. Kasama na po doon ang aming radiologist. Naglagay po kami ng isa pang layer for safety, no? So yung nirecommend po ng AI, titingnan pa po yan ng aming radiologist at titingnan niya kung ito ay naangkop doon sa kanyang kaalaman sa pagbasa ng mammogram. So yung recommendation po ng AI ay sinicertify pa niya kung ito ay correct and accurate.
I see. So basically, may synergy ng mga resulta.
Yes.
Okay. So, naku, ayan. So, ito to, Sir Leo, nakita natin kung ano yung, natuwa ako doon sa mga narinig ko. So, baka you would want na imbitahin ang ating mga kasambahay na imbitahan silang subukan itong Thermalytix.
Yes, mga kasangbahay, no, iniimbitahan po namin kayo dito sa Asian Breast Center para subukan ang makabagong teknolohiya na aming ini-introduce sa Pilipinas na Thermalytix. Ito po ay novel technology na wala pong ipit, so hindi po ito masakit, wala pong radiation, katulad ng mammogram. Although, again, hindi po namin siya sinasabing papalitan pa niya ang mammogram, no? Ito po lamang ay ginagamit sa mga bansa na ang screening ay medyo mababa, no? So, itong technology na to, dahil siya ay naangkop sa kahit anumang edad, pwedeng-pwede po kayo, no? Na lalo-lalo na kung ay may nararamdaman kayo sa inyong breast and gusto magpatingin. Ito po ay ma-afford, no? Nakakarami dahil mas mura po ang kanyang halaga.
Okay, so thank you once again, Sir Leo Santos, the technical specialist of Thermalytix here in the Philippines. Okay, and ako, we hope mga kasambahay, marami po kayong natutunan sa ating tinalakay ngayong araw. Napakahusay na po ng ating teknolohiya ngayon. Ako, kaya talagang malaki ang ambag nito para naman masuri agad ang ating mga nararamdaman sa ating mga breasts. Now, mga kasambahay, let's just pause for a short break. Doctors on TV, we'll be right back. Tayo nagbabalik sa Doctors on TV. Ako, syempre, bago po tayo magtapos, ay gusto ulit natin pasalamatan ang Asian Breast Center sa pag-imbita niyo po at maipakita po sa publiko ang inyong mga pasilidad. At para po sa mga karagdagang impormasyon, panoorin po natin ito.
Asian Breast Center is a premier healthcare facility dedicated to breast health and wellness. It specializes in breast cancer diagnostics, treatments, and disease management, offering state-of-the-art technologies in treatment guided by American standards and guidelines. Visit their Facebook page at facebook.com/Asian Breast Center PH. The Asian Breast Center is located at the 8th floor of Centuria Medical Makati, located in Galayaan Avenue, corner Salamanca Street, Barangay Poblacion, Makati City. The center is open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., except holidays. To get the best level of care, you can book an appointment by calling their mobile number at 0917-127-3278 or send inquiries through email ask.abc@asianbreastcenter.com. Breast cancer is curable and treatments are affordable when detected and diagnosed early.
And And that brings us to the end of today's enlightening episode. But before we say goodbye, please watch this.
Watch these snippets for the upcoming episode on Sunday.
Considered siya high risk kasi 27 lang yung kapatid nung namatay from breast cancer. So, high risk siya sa family. Pero, kaya nga 39 pa lang siya, wala pa siyang 40, pinapamammogram na namin. Kaya lang, pwede ko rin siyang nire-recommend ko for genetic testing. Kasi kung ang genetic testing nung pasyente na yon is wala naman siyang inherited breast cancer, we can delay na yung hindi na ganun ka-close monitoring.
At yan po mga kasambahay ang aabangan natin sa susunod na linggo. And as we wrap up today's episode, we'd like to extend our gratitude to all our viewers for their continued support. And of course, bago tayo magtapos, minabati ko po yung aking kambal, si Iyo and si Iya. Hi there, and hi kay EJ and kay Doc Aline, and mga pasyente rin po natin sa Barba-Cabodil Health and Wellness Center. And sa inyong mga kasambahay, thank you very much po sa mga nagpa-follow sa atin. We hope you found this discussion informative, empowering, and inspiring. Remember to follow us on social media for updates. Don't forget to tune in next time, God willing. Muli po, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Ito po si Dr. Sara Barba-Cabodil. Let's make it a habit to learn about good health. Only here at Doctors on TV.
Special thanks to A&B Jose Antonio, Executive Chairman of Century Properties Group Incorporated. Mr. Jose Marco Antonio, President and CEO of Century Properties Group. Mr. Ray Di Maano, General Manager of Centuria Medical Makati. Ms. Ann Ramos, Sales and Leasing Manager of Centuria Medical Makati. Ms. Roxanne Carumba, Property Management Office Manager of Centuria Medical Makati. Ms. Reyes Pistaño, Operations Manager of Asian Breast Center Incorporated. Mr. Leo Angelo V. Santos, Transformation and Business Development Director of Asian Breast Center Incorporated. Asian Breast Center staffs: Jas Liagas, Carmela Marasigan, Janice Colina, Rose Lianza, Dia Castro, Cristel Domingo, Erica Matias, Elizabeth Gaston, Larissa Verzon, Alan Buncaras, Arian Exala, Aaron Balino, Bianca Santiano, Janiza Medina, Grace Valencia. We would like to thank Adlaon Optical, located at Ground Floor Super 8 Warehouse Poblacion, Bariwag, Bulacan, 0922-878-5911, and second floor Aliw Complex, MacArthur Highway, Calvario, Meycauayan City, Bulacan, 0922-861-2095. Lindison Gas Corporation, located at 179 National Road, Landayan, San Pedro, Laguna, 4023. For inquiries, you may contact them at 02-8824-0867 or 02-824-9360, or you can email them at lgsalesco@gmail.com. Clinica Figura, located at Entrata Building, Philinvest, Alabang. You may contact them at 0917-317-7272. Barba-Cabodil Health and Wellness Center, located at Unit 1531, Centuria Medical Makati, Century City, Makati. You may contact them at 0917-317-7272. For appointments and other inquiries about your health and wellness needs, please like and follow Facebook page, Dr. Sara Barba-Cabodil. Dr. Sara Barba-Cabodil would like to express her gratitude to Medical Depot, healthy num-num food. Where we do.